This is the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. Step on in. We're here in Slayer's studio. You know who this is, and you know who I'm on the line with. Word?
East Coast Trev.
They knew that already. I just said.
I know. That's what I said.
Well, this was a killer episode.
Sorry.
We had our boy out of Rhode Island chime in. It's tough to follow up Pigman, but he did a good job. I mean, we did the totally different spectrum. He's an East Coast Slayer.
He's a fucking champ.
Yeah. National Whitetail Championship, Sector 13. Dude out of Rhode Island. He took it for Kentucky and Tennessee.
And a supporter.
Oh, avid supporter. And he believes in everything we believe in, too. He bought a ton of Nor'easter game calls, not because he listens to the show, but because he believes in it and because we believe in it. This is going to be one for the books as well. I'm glad we went back to our roots for episode 99. What do you think, Trev? What do you take away from this
totally
episode?
agree. Billy's an absolute savage. He's got a book of knowledge, and I can't wait to open up the book and read it.
He has a book?
Yeah.
Oh, that Trump book he talks about, right?
I'm saying.
That's his book.
Yep.
You need to have the gift of gab.
That will teach you something. It'll
Close
learn
the
you
deal.
something.
Is it make the deal or make the deal happen, I think is what he said.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's really cool, man. This is episode 99. We're going to cut right into it. You know, chime in for our 100th episode. It's our 1 year mark, September 16th, between 7 and 7:30 p.m. Actually, you know what we'll do, Trev? We'll go on IG Live and then Facebook Live before we hit record button.
Just to let everyone know.
Yeah, and you can call in on our ECB burner phone number, area code 959-929-8604. And we hope to hear from you, man, because this has been a roller coaster ride. We started 1 year ago in podcast land from September 16th, maybe a little bit sooner. It was opening day. We went from sucking real bad to laying down the knowledge.
One time I forgot to turn on your mic.
No, you didn't. That was us test driving the phone in. Listener calling.
Oh, that's right.
Damn, son, you forgot that already?
Dude, it's been a year.
Damn. You're younger than me and you're forgetting shit.
I got that sometimers.
The sometimers?
Yeah.
Was this new disease now?
Yeah, sometimes you forget, sometimes you remember.
You see, guys? You see what I have to deal with?
Shabine.
All right, let's run it.
Why East Coast Bowhunting Podcast?
Because neither one of us wear pink camo.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Look, man, I'm from Wisconsin, and I listen to East Coast Bowhunters because you don't get anything more real than these guys.
Because East Coast Bowhunting sets the standards for keeping its listeners informed on everything that matters in the hunting industry.
Nice having somebody, local and represent the East Coast boys.
The East Coast is going to saddle up.
Number one source for slaying whitetails on the East Coast.
Well, you might see Jesus if you actually shoot something, it'll get you into heaven.
Why East Coast? Why not? I'm East Coast, baby. That's how we roll. Chew on that.
Come on the show a stranger, and you feel like one of the boys when you leave.
Because I get my hunting camp anytime I want.
There's some absolute monsters roaming the East Coast, and I think it needs a little attention, so why not bring it to the East Coast Bowhunters Podcast?
Man, because East Coast is a tight-knit crew, and y'all like me. Raw, real, no bullshit.
Because you guys are hometown boys. I love you guys.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
This is Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bowhunter, and East Coast Bowhunting Podcast is the only hunting podcast I'll tune into.
Welcome to our 99th episode of the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. Shit's about to get real once again. If you're following us right now, we just had a killer episode with Brian Quaka, a.k.a. the Pigman, a.k.a. the Pig Killer, the Slayer. He be pinching them all around. So number 99 is going to be tough to follow. So we're going back to our roots, so this way we can start from ground zero. East Coast all the way, as we're joined from our buddy out of Rhode Island that is the Region 13 winner from last season for the NWTC. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, and we're here at Slayer Studio in Coventry, Connecticut, hiding in the mountains of God's heaven. I'm your boy D-Rock here with
East Coast Trev,
and we're bringing you the high-end lowdown of what you need to know. Like I said, we're going back to our roots, and we're going to be on the line with an East Coast Slayer. This dude has massive bone. That's right, Ryan ain't here, so no dirty comments. Word, Trev. Yeah. It might be a cleaner episode this time.
Good luck.
Yeah. And as always, this show is brought to you by Shabeen Brewing, the Hunter's Beer. Damn.
Shabeen.
100 Demons, East Coast hardcore music known worldwide. Trev's Euros.
For all your Euro amount needs.
What do you like about Trev's Euros, man?
Nothing. Not a fucking thing.
Yeah, me neither. Encore Targets. Self-healing targets to self-heal your pockets. Meyer Trail Cameras. Who's on your hit list, Trev?
Oh, we got a couple of good hit listers.
I don't want to hear stickers. I know you got the other one.
Yeah, we got a couple different ones.
Yeah, you look stoked.
Yeah, wicked pumped.
It's going to be crazy not seeing you on opening day this year.
I know.
It's going to be
a heartbreaker, different. Man. It's a heartbreaker, but
you'll be at it. You'll be at it what? Probably Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll get out early from work or whatever and get it done this week.
Shit, I'm just trying to get blood on the ground for our 100th episode. That's right, 100 episodes in 1 year. Insane. Outright Hunting Products. The Morph Pro is the last bow hanger you'll ever buy. Why? Because it has every single adapter that you would need. It has private land adapter, state land adapter. What I mean by that, it has a strap on, it has screw in. Want something for your bow hanger, trail cameras, the works. So if you don't know, now you know, Hunter. Ethics Archery. If you don't use Ethics,
fuck you.
Use promo code EastCoast10. Death Wish Coffee, world's strongest coffee, fueled by Deathcast, is their podcast ran by the host, the amazing Jeff. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Based out of New York, you're getting all kinds of people in on that. Use promo code EastCoast10. Also brought to you by Tree Thrasher. Imitate the wild. Use promo code EastCoast15. I like that. That was good, Trev. That was good. Also brought to you by Wild Edge Inc., leader of the Wild Steps. So full climbing system so you can get into your tree. One-stop shop for saddle hunting. You can purchase your Yarrick. They have the perch platform, the conduct, and carabiners and
8mm ropes.
Yep, it's just insane. Also brought to you by the Hunter Site, your online journal, so you can keep track of your properties and your deer patterns. Check them out. Very, very low cost subscription fee for the year. Prices start at $24.99. And Bryce Stone, quite honestly, he's the most relatable dude out there. He's a family man, a killer himself, straight out of the heart of Texas. Doesn't get any more American than that. But he bleeds East Coast, so we'll give him a pass. This show is powered or driven by Scranton Motors and powered by Scranton Power Sports for all your vehicular needs.
Vehicular.
You like that?
I love it.
Good pronunciation for the Mexican. Also, side-by-sides, quads, and you mentioned something else.
Timber sleds.
The timber sleds, the Snowhawks.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for that jet ski, man.
Slingshots?
I just want that Polaris jet ski from Scranton, so this way I can get water access instead of a kayak.
Liking it.
Nor'easter game calls. Get them in close and get your ECB Evo Grunt Series grunt call. This is insane. Demonstrate, Trev. Slide that down a bit. Insane. All one call, all different age of deer, and you could get them in close. And nothing better than rocking some jewelry around your neck and pimping it out and making people jealous at your deer camp. So check it out. And from now until November 1st, if you order your Evo Grunt Series, ECB Evo Grunt Series grunt call, you get a free lanyard from now until November 1st. Also brought to you by Gator Outdoors, outfitting the working class. The one-stop shop for all your hunting needs If you're a rifle hunter, bow hunter, you love the outdoor group, has all those different products, guess what? Gator Outdoors has them.
And there's fishing products also.
Exactly. All your outdoor needs. Also, they just jumped on with Big Time and Lone Wolf Custom Gear. I mean, they got the inside scoop on what you need for the outside needs. Use promo code ECB10 for that one. And this show is presented by Working Class Bowhunter, the brand of the hunting industry, the OGs of all hunting podcasts, the only ones that laid down our current path for the outdoors, which means the greater good. They're in it to win it. They're in it for the bigger picture. They want to show how you can be yourself and still provide Mother Nature what she needs. And you can use our promo code ECB for their merch and their gear. Check out their store. They got cool hats to go shoot your bow, t-shirts. I mean, they got it all. And you could also use their promo codes WCB15 for HHA Sports, as well as WCB25 to save $25 off the NWTC sign up. Did you sign up yet, Trev?
Did not sign up yet.
But you're going to, word?
Hopefully.
For us, it's Sector 1 for Connecticut. Remember that, Sector 1. So, I mean, shit, this is the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. Always here for new and old slayers, just like yourself. Just sharing our experiences in the woods through playing and slaying. What's up?
What's up, D-Rock?
You know what's up is it's episode 99. We got our fellow slayer out of Rhode Island, Billy, jumping on soon. He won the sector out of Kentucky and Tennessee, Sector 13 last season. Full velvet buck. Insane. We'll let him tell the story. And what's even better is September 16th. Right around, it's not set in stone. It's going to be between 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Chime in to our ECB burner phone. That's right. You get to call in, whoever you are out there. If you follow us, you hate us, you love us. Even if you're shy, you just want to say hello, love you guys, goodbye. That's cool too. You got to chime in at area code 959-929-8604. That number is 959-929-8604. And we want to hear from you. Whatever you have suggested, what you want to see the upcoming season, what you remember from the past season, which episode you like most. I mean, we want to hear from you because we're here for y'all. So chime in. That's what's good, Trev.
That is what's good.
Hell yeah.
And we're a couple of days away from opening day.
I know, man.
It's huge.
That is huge.
Man. It's definitely, I didn't expect it to come this fast. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
man.
that's what Ryan said, too.
Yeah. We've been waiting for this day for a long time, and it's finally coming to tuition.
Fruition?
Whatever. Tuition. No, tuition.
Tuition is what you get. Yeah, that's what you pay for to go to college.
Fruition, I guess.
It's all right. It's all right. You know how to kill shit. That's what counts.
That's it. You don't need to be smart to do that.
Yo, I'm excited to hear your fishing foraging news because, I mean, well, I'll let it for the news.
Yeah, leave it for the news.
It was just a good day all the way around. I'm still in cloud 9 for our recent episodes. I mean, we've just been ending season 2 with a bang. I'm ready and stoked for deer season. I'm going to be out there Sunday morning on a private piece because opening day for public land is on the 16th. Hopefully we get some blood on the ground so we can talk about that, kick it off right for season 3. And, I mean, shit, I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Super pumped, dude.
Have you been practicing all your sets and everything, every style?
Yeah.
Why don't you go down the list of the different tactics you're going to use for climbing trees and what you're going to be shooting out of? Because you got multiple different setups. Word?
Yeah, I got, so we were kind of talking about it, going over it today before the podcast. But, so I got my Wild Edge steps, man, and I'm going to run those for my saddle, and I have an XOP stand also. So what I was thinking was like a preset kind of thing. I'm going to go in and set it up like the night before or whatever, and then go and hunt it and then take it down. But on my mobile stuff, when I'm on public land, I'm going to take my steps because I built my climb for that, and then I'm going to run my saddle instead of running a climber this year. Climbers are kind of dangerous for me because I'm a very big boy and very clumsy. So having being in a saddle and being in a harness all the time. It's way better than being in a climber for me.
And since this is Tree Stand Safety Awareness Month, why don't you share your quick story that you have for opening day of last year?
Oh, last year. That was a good one.
And get into detail something that you didn't do, that you've changed tactics ever since we kind of hooked up and we started pushing safety and what you should be doing.
So, I mean, first off, we'll start off with, I never ran a safety harness. All my years of hunting, I never wore a safety harness ever in my life. And I always ran a climber, probably for like the past 5 years, and I'd be in that thing almost every single day, never wearing a harness. Going into opening day last year, I went up a tree, a very odd tree that had kind of like an S-bend in it. And
what changed your mind on wearing a harness, though? Can you touch on that before you get into the story?
I mean, even like in our episode, the safety harness,
Tree Stand Safety Harness.
Yeah, and we did all the research on it and what it actually is and how many people. There was a post on the Bow Hunters of America on injuries that had occurred to people without tree stand safety harnesses.
Oh, the group that I'm banned from?
Oh, yeah. But there was so many people on there that had all the way from a broken back to broken legs and couldn't walk, and there was a ton of them. So it kind of like really opened my eye to it, that there was actually that many things that could actually go wrong without wearing a harness.
You only have one eye?
Yeah, I guess.
Or do you wear a patch when you climb a tree?
Neither.
Oh.
So, so I didn't have a harness. Oh, no, I did have did I have a harness on opening? Yeah, I definitely had a harness on opening day. But I was in my climber, and actually the angle of the tree and it being on an S, like a curved tree, actually the bottom ended up dropping out on me, and I went down a couple of feet, and my bow ended up falling and stuff like that. So it's kind of brought a lot to light for me as far as wearing a harness, because those things can definitely happen. And I was young and stupid and didn't really even think of that.
Young and stupid last year?
Yeah.
So you've matured and now you're old?
Yeah, 1 year. Yep.
Shit.
It's great.
You grow fast.
Yep.
Awesome jeans.
For sure.
Awesome jeans. I'm talking about the Calvin Kleins you're wearing.
Oh, thanks.
They're awesome jeans.
Yep.
Oh, man. So that's crazy, man. So that's a good story, though. And the reason he brings that up is because we do preach safety, being ethical, and not just the unity and greater good of things. It's just, if we're going to go out there into the woods, I mean, you're going out when it's dark most of the time if you're doing a morning hunt, and you just really want to cover all angles. I mean, there's no reason to not wear a harness, or if you don't wear a harness and you're a saddle hunter, bringing your linesman belt and a tethered, use them both sometimes. I know some people just use their linesman. I mean, if you're new to saddle hunting, use both. You can never be too safe. It's an extra step. And the best advice for that for climbing trees is what, Trev? Taking your time, right?
Yeah, definitely take your time.
Just take your time.
Yeah, it's you know, and going back to it, I mean, honestly, like, I always hunted out of ladder stands and preset ladder stands, you know, singles and doubles. We never needed a tree stand harness. We didn't think that you did, that you were better than that, you know. And then you start getting into a climber and you get in these situations, and yeah, definitely I would never go into the woods from here on out without some type of harness of some sort.
Yeah, don't be Trevor. Don't have a blooper.
That's it. Oh shit, that's me. Fishing and foraging fun with East Coast Trev. So, the false albacore finally showed up off the Rhode Island beaches and New York, and all along the Long Island Sound.
Yeah!
But with that, today I was actually able to get out on some bonita here in Connecticut. On the Connecticut shores, I took my boat out. I had the day off, so I was able to get out and do some of that. And in the mix, we found something that is not normally from around here.
Yo, for people that don't know real quick, can you describe what a bonita is real quick?
A bonita is actually part of the tuna family.
And they're delicious.
Very, very delicious.
Just had some sushi yesterday, was it?
Yeah, we had some bluefin. Good friend of mine got into some bluefin, some local bluefin, 10 miles off the point of Montauk, which is real close. They were medium sized, somewhere in the 100-pound range. But today, when I was out bonita fishing locally here, we got into some Spanish mackerel.
Yeehaw!
something that, I mean, my whole entire life, I've never seen them in the Sound. So it was kind of cool to get into those. Real fun fighting fish. Good eating fish. I'm really excited to have a bunch of those this week.
Hell yeah. They look pretty too, man.
Yeah, they're absolutely
cool
gorgeous.
colors.
They're fun to definitely chase. I had an absolute blast with them. So like I said, man, I've been fishing in the Sound my entire life and never. I mean, you hear like one or two here or there, but I mean, there were schools of them by the hundreds. It was epic. It was definitely epic.
You guys definitely slammed it.
Oh, we did.
It was cool to see.
The striped bass are still here and there. Not as many big slobs or big girls, but there definitely is some around. I'm really, really waiting for this fall run to turn around and some big girls start to come locally. The bluefish, there's still loads of those. I found them chasing little peanut bunker all over the top. We thought they were tuna, but they definitely weren't. They were all bluefish. As far as the offshore bite, I've heard tons and tons of local reports. As I was saying, the bluefin, the yellowfin, all local within 12, 15 miles of the Montauk Point.
Local or loco?
Yeah, loco. With those, I mean, there's a ton of sharks out there, too. Guys have been killing some giant threshers pretty close. Same right where the tuna are. Those guys are shark fishing and they're finding bluefin tuna. Nice. So it's pretty cool. You know, we don't get to see that very much. There's a ton of mahi there also, which have kind of moved in. So they'll move in with kind of the cooler water and the bait, and they'll chase them up. So you don't have to go as far. A lot of these guys, they'll go to like Atlantis, the fishtails, a little bit more offshore, but now they're all fishing local. There's a ton of good fish here in local.
And that's blue mahi, right?
Yep. The green mahi, the regular.
Oh, the green ones too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the big bull ones, the normal ones.
Nice.
As
Those
far as bluefin season, commercial bluefin season in Massachusetts, where you guys see the wicked tuna, their season is still up and running. I think I was talking to some guys, and they were saying that they think that the season might close.
Hell yeah.
This coming up weekend. But then reopen October 1st. I have a trip planned to go up there October 1st, giant fishing. So that'll be the first time since last year. Really excited for that. But they've been killing an absolute boatload of them. Yeah! For foraging news, I have actually found a ton of good mushrooms lately, and I know my boy D-Rock has also. The black trumpets, guys they've been showing up everywhere, man. Tons and tons of reports coming in with those. Those you can find more in the piney areas, on the pine floors, right there with your chanterelles. There's been a good number of those. And the corals. I've been seeing a ton of those.
Yeah,
actually,
they're
I got
popping.
a bunch of them in the backyard. And along with that, the chicken. We've
Chicken
all
is booming.
found chicken. I mean, everyone's found chicken. I got a good buddy, Rich. I mean, how big was that one that he found? That was probably like 60, 70 pounds.
Something
that
like
giant,
that.
Giant
Yeah,
one.
that one.
Yeah.
Yep. I scored 13 pounds, but nothing compared to that 60-pounder. That shit was crazy looking.
Yeah, I got maybe 5 pounds so far.
Still, that's a good haul.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. You know, always good early chicken. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's going to still come, especially with a lot of this moist weather.
Moist is good.
Moist is always good.
So is that it?
Yeah, man. Let's cut it.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
You didn't finish your segment.
Yeah, I did.
No, you always end it a certain way.
Oh.
What, are you going to cut the listeners short?
Yeah, I guess I...
Give the listeners what they want, son.
All right. As always, send your fishing and foraging news to East Coast Trev. I want to see your pictures and your news.
And send Ryan your nudes.
Back to you, buddy.
Tag, you're it. Welcome to another edition of the Borderline Corral for Borderline Issues at Hand. People, we need to support our local shops. We lead by example by starting from ground zero. Want to get your bow work done right before your own eyes? Shop at Trader Jan's Archery Pro Shop and Wicked Twisted Bowstrings to get that at-home feel and Archery Pro service. Supplying your archery needs since 1991. Get wicked and twisted at Trader Jan's. Also, this is Tree Stand Safety Awareness Month. So there's no reason for you not to have a tree stand safety harness. And if you don't have a tree stand safety harness, reach out to your boys on the East Coast. Get a hold of Ryan the Porn Star. Or maybe even East Coast Trev. or your boy D-Rock, and we'll send you one for free. That's right, for free. And before we end this segment, let's shout out some good prayers and good fortune for fast recovery out to Wade Borman, the boss, Gator Outdoors. He is Gator, and we're thinking of you. So everyone, just all good thoughts, all good zen, and good chakra. All to you, Wade. All right, so we're back on the line with Billy Sylvia out of Rhode Island. What's going on, Billy?
Oh, not much. Just, it's September, so I'm dreaming of blood already. You know how that goes.
Hell yeah. I'll cheers to that.
Shabeen.
So, Billy, you in the car right now. You can't split a beer with us right now, huh?
No, I can't have a beer, but I'm going to have a whole bunch of them here as soon as we're done. I promise you that. I just got back. I just got in from Kentucky. I was in Kentucky for a week hunting.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. We went down to Kentucky. We shot some nice bucks. The crew I go with, we shot some real nice deer.
Nice. And Mark from Maine, Nor'easter Game Calls, hooked you up.
Mark from Maine, I tell you what, he sent me some of them game calls, and I'll tell you what, man, I was thoroughly impressed. He's going to make the guides down where I'm going some duck calls, but the grunt calls that he made, the East Coast grunt calls with the slide from the bleat to the grunt, it's perfect. There's no movement. You know what I mean? It's just, I like them a lot, and they're real classy looking.
Hell yeah, it's like pimping. You're going into the woods pimping.
Yeah.
What do you think of the?
You can have them customized. And it's your own. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah! So which ones did you get for yourself? Can you describe it a bit? Because I didn't even get to see it.
He has still. The reason why he hasn't done my personal one yet is because before I left, I sent him some quahog shells. You know what I'm saying? So what it is?
That is dope.
I sent them some wampum. Wampum. The Indians, the Narragansett Indians, where I live. They used to trade the wampum inside the quahog shell, the purple, for money.
Oh, my God. That's so smart.
Yeah, well, hey, you're talking to me, man.
No, that's creative, man. I didn't even think of that. That's East Coast all the way.
Yeah, I know. So I sent it to him, and I said, hey, can you work with this? Because I showed him some other knives and some stuff that was done. And it looks like he can work with just about anything. And he could not wait for me to get them to him. So once he got him, I haven't heard from him yet because I left to go hunting, and I'm sure that it's going to be nice. So I told him I'm a fisherman, so I want some wampum in all my personal calls because that's it. You know what I mean? I dig clams. I'm a bull raker. That's what I'm born and bred.
Hell yeah, East Coast, baby.
Now you're talking my language.
So Billy, why don't we?
that?
Yeah. Why don't you kick it off right for our listeners who don't know who you are? Tell us who you are, where you're from, and where we can find you.
Well, I grew up in Bristol, Rhode Island, and we when I was a young kid, we hunted Prudence Island, which is a little island off of that. That's where I grew up hunting. And the deer per square mile there is just phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It's been knocked down, but it's coming back. And when I was a kid, it was just, you couldn't believe the deer that were there. That's where I learned how to deer hunt. So, on Instagram, I can't imagine one. I got a Facebook page too, but I usually go the Instagram route. And I've been deer hunting since I was 12 years old. I'm 45, 30-something years. And I like to kill deer. That's what I do. That's my passion in life, killing deer,
Hell yeah, Bristol boys killers.
That's it. The Bristol Blood Boys. That's it. We just kill them. I enjoy making them bleed out of their nose. That's what makes me go. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man. Nothing wrong with that. You know what? It's a shame that you're away right now because we still need to get up and hang for the night, you know?
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, I already told you. Come down to Bristol. I'll hook you up. You know what I mean? No problem. Whatever you want to do. I got things. We got places to go and food to eat. You know, we're going to do it. We'll have a great time. No problem.
Hell yeah, man.
But I've been a fisherman my whole life, so I worked on the water, and everything. But the woods, I like to get in the woods. I like to go hunting. When I was about 30, I went to the Midwest. Man. I'll tell you what. I went to the Midwest, and I shot some big bucks. You got to see, the people that haven't seen it, you got to, it's just like TV. That's what I tell everybody. It's just like to see on TV. It's unbelievable, man.
I could imagine, man. As a matter of fact, like my contact for you, your name, it says Billy Big Buck Killer, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Straight up. Some of the pictures you showed me, I'm like, holy shit, this dude's got massive bone everywhere in your man cave, man. It's insane. It's insane. What drove you to strive to just get them mature bucks, man? What was the turning point? Because me myself, I'm a fairly new whitetail hunter, and there's got to be, like, my turning point was when I finally got that one big monster out of Missouri. So that's when I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And there's got to be something in relation that for newer hunters out there, or even the meat hunter that's always out there for just the meat. What was your turning point?
My turning point was I wanted to shoot a Pope and Young animal. And, you could do it in Rhode Island. It would take a while. If you have the ground, you could probably do it. I shot one last year in Rhode Island that was Pope and Young. That's the first one that ever killed there that made Pope and Young. And the turning point was I wanted a Pope and Young deer. And, the Midwest and the stories I've heard from other people that went and did that. It just got my curiosity rolling. And it just got, it got me, going to people's house and seeing these giant bucks, saying, wow. And hooking you up with the people and then just getting out there and going. That was the big thing. We finally got up. We finally went out there. My first trip to the Midwest, I shot a 124-inch deer. That was the first deer I killed in the Midwest, was in Nebraska. And the people we went with, it was a little tough. It was, it wasn't really what it was supposed to be. And then the year after, we took a year off, and then the year after, I found a kid in Kansas. His name's John Hankey. And boy, let me tell you, we kill bucks. See, that kid kills giant animals.
Hell yeah.
That's it. I went in the woods with him. 2 days, he filmed me. And he was, he was in the tree, wanted to film me. And the second day, I shot a 140-inch, legitimate 140-inch 8-pointer that scored net. We're not fishing. I don't use nets. It was a 140, but you want to put it in the book. They rounded out. It was 134 inches, I think, in the book. So,
damn, that's still a good buck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that. I still look at that deer, and I can still see him coming in. I watch the video all the time. It's awesome. So from that point on, I already knew that that's where I was going hunting, and that was it. I still hunt around home, but nothing gets me going like those Midwest bucks. There's nothing like it.
So, Billy, I got a question for you. You talk about Midwest and how you want to go to Midwest, but I don't think that the picture has been painted for your hometown. Like, as far as, like, what it's like to hunt in Rhode Island. Because a lot of these people, a lot of the listeners, they might not even know what the East Coast is, never mind Rhode Island. And I know Rhode Island is a totally different beast when it comes to hunting.
All right, so Rhode Island, like, I hardly ever hunted the mainland. Like I told you, I hunted Prudence Island. But when I hunt the mainland, there's some really big bucks in Rhode Island. So when you go to Rhode Island hunting, the best way for me to explain it, when I have to hunt state land and stuff like that, there's a big buck there. Where you're going hunting in Rhode Island, trust me, there's a big one. I've seen them 150, 160. I know people who've actually killed Boone and Crockett animals there. You know what I mean? With the bow and arrow.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, Rhode Island's got some giant deer if you've got the ground. It's hard to get in the ground because it's small. you know.
Is there a lot of public land in Rhode Island?
There is a lot of public land in Rhode Island, but you got to do a lot of walking. We're getting old.
Right.
Yeah, you can do it. It's all about the amount of time you want to put in. You want to put that time in and go. I mean, the last time before I shot that I shot an 8-pointer last year in the town I live in. I shot I don't know if it was a big river management area or whatnot. I mean, I shot a 6-pointer that I hunted for. He was a big old 6-pointer, and it took me a long time to shoot him, but I finally got him. And it takes a while sometimes, you know. I mean, you got to deal with the other hunters and the neighbors. So, Rhode Island's got a lot of deer, a lot of good deer. I like hunting Rhode Island because it's my home place. When I get invited places, and my cousin had some ground we shoot some deer at. You know, I mean, if you're going to get into hunting, and I tell everybody, if you go to Rhode Island and you shoot some nice bucks, and you hunt hard there and you get them, you can go anywhere and shoot a big buck. Because Rhode Island's not that easy to kill that big one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just, unless you have that ground to get on. If you get the ground to get on and you play it right, you're going to get a crack at them because those bucks rut. Rhode Island bucks, man, they horny bastards. They rut like crazy. And, you know what I mean? And it's good. And I've always loved it there. So
it's probably all the quahogs.
Well, man, they're licking all the they're eating all the seaweed on the beach for protein for the iron, you know.
The salt.
Have you seen that though? Have you seen them do that?
Yeah, Prudence Island I have. Yeah, I used to hunt right on. I mean, all around it, and you know they go on the rocks all the time, eat the seaweed, lick the salt off the rocks. They're always down on the beach, you know.
You see that on Block Island also. That's
on the block, yeah.
Yeah, on Block is like that. Yeah. We have another listener.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we have another listener that Scott McFish. He hunted on Block Island and said told his story also on the podcast about hunting on Block Island. It's totally different beast.
I've been to the Block. Yeah, that's a totally different beast over there. Believe me when I tell you, it really is. I mean, I shot a few deer there, but you know, I like Prudence Island. That's where I grew up, and I do like to hunt around. You know, I mean, the deer. When I grew up as a kid, there was nothing. And now the town I live in Bristol is just loaded. There's deer all over the place, and there's very few places that you can hunt.
Hey, so, Billy, that you know of for like out of town or out of state or a non-resident, is that an over-counter tag?
Where's this?
In Rhode Island.
Oh yeah. Listen, Rhode Island has the best value for the dollar. Rhode Island. I mean, you go to Rhode Island and you can get $45 for an out-of-stater.
Yeah, that's cheap as fuck.
$45, isn't it? And then it's $24 a tag. I mean, you know, I'm going to Kansas to shoot one deer maybe, and it cost me $500-600.
Yep.
So I mean, Rhode Island, in my opinion, has the best value if you want to come from out of state. You know, I mean, to go hunting.
So
especially waterfowl. Especially waterfowl.
Oh yeah.
Waterfowl hunting's big. I mean, we're talking about deer, but waterfowl hunting's huge.
In Rhode Island. Without a doubt.
I do a ton of sea duck hunting in Rhode Island regularly.
Yeah,
a ton.
Absolutely. I go, you know, at the end, you know, January, I go do the sea ducks. But I mean, I like to hunt deer up until then. And you know, you can always get plenty of meat in Rhode Island. I always, you know, plenty of deer there. They have the state property has big. You know, there's big chunks of land there. You know, you got to put that time in, and you can't be afraid of the other hunters. I mean, the deer are used to them. You know, I mean, I've sat there and had people walk by, and you know, you get disgusted and leave, or you know, you go back and check the camera 2 days later. 20 minutes after you left, it comes a deer. You know,
yeah,
not necessarily a giant buck. Could be, you know, I mean, when I grew up as a kid, you hunted the whole year to shoot a buck, and a buck was either a spike horn, a 4-pointer, a 6-pointer, or an 8-pointer. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the old men we hunted with, we hunted all year, every weekend, and they would let all the does go and everything to try to shoot one of them bucks. And the last weekend, if you didn't shoot one, they shot a button buck or a doe or whatever. You know, we were buck hunters. There was no trophies. You know, the trophy was the buck itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's trophy to someone out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, you know, you may not shoot the biggest buck, but you know, a buck in Rhode Island is still a buck.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
A buck in Rhode Island, still a buck, brother.
So what?
I like.
So what drove you to sign up for the NWTC last season? I mean, do you do that regularly? Do you do that every year, or?
Well, I'll tell you what. Last year was their inaugural year for the NAWTC, and I found out about it in August through somebody who shared the post. I had no idea about it, so I was going hunting in September. So I knew that I was going to enter this tournament because I'm going hunting anyway. So I looked at everything. I mean, and I wasn't really concerned with the prize. I knew that you had to do it with a tactic cam. It was a challenge, is what it was, So I went hunting last year, and I shot a deer in Kentucky, and it ended up winning Region 13. So I got lucky. On that. I never thought that deer was going to win. It was 150 inches.
Yeah.
And, it was a 149, actually. But,
149 and 1/8, right?
Yeah, that's what it scored. Yeah, after I had to strip the velvet. I had to take the velvet off him to do it,
Yeah, that was full velvet. It was like just popping out of velvet, right?
It was just popping out of velvet, but they probably could have saved it. But their rules are you have to strip the velvet if you're in the top 3 or 4. So, hey, whatever. I just whatever I had to do, I did it. We stripped the velvet, had it measured, and he won. So we're on our way to Kansas now because we won. There's 18 people going to Kansas to hunt for $50,000 if you shoot the biggest buck, and I think $20,000 is second and $5,000 is third. Plus, I'm getting a muzzle loader. I'm getting all kinds of stuff, and it's going to be great just to go meet new people, going to a new outfitter. I'm going to, I'm going to meet the people that behind all this NAWTC stuff. Who the NAWTC? The guys that did this, they're working hard. They've actually formed a deer hunting community. You know what I mean? They brought more people, more hunters together by doing that than anything else. They go out, they get the sponsors, they give stuff away. It was worth the entry fee just to do it, just to be part of it,
Hell yeah. And then it's cool to get the behind the scenes end of it, for someone that's not signed up and is curious about it and maybe a little standoffish because it's not exactly the cheapest, but can you break down like the dollar value versus what you get? And then, like you said, just to be a part of it is worth it.
Well, yeah, because to be a part of it's worth it because they give hunts away, they give all kinds of stuff away. Not that I've won anything, but they give all kinds of stuff away. So, and not only that, they give a hunt away every month. They just gave away an elk hunt. And then they gave away a whitetail velvet hunt, and they gave away all kinds of guns and stuff last year, bow and arrows. And what you get is you got to pay $300. You get a box of stuff. You get a tactic cam. You got to get the kill with the tactic cam, the recovery. There's some things you have to do with it. They want to make sure that you shoot the deer, of course, and that's pretty much it. So the people that I've met that are doing this, it's weird, and I tell everybody. When I contact these people or when I contact other entrants, like I met some guys, a kid named Randy Dunmeyer and a guy named Shannon Gladfelter. They're from Pennsylvania. They made it to the championship. When I first contacted these guys, congratulated them that they were coming with us or with me. I was going with them or whatever for the 18. We started talking like we were picking up on a conversation that we were having the other day, and I never met these guys in my life. So we're all the same kind of people with the same interest, So it's like all of a sudden you're talking to these guys, and it's like boom, you exactly know what you're talking about. Everybody knows what's going on. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. It's like you're bringing the same people with the same interest as you together. That's one of the biggest things that I've gotten out of this. I met a lot of good people. As a matter of fact, one of the guys from Kentucky that won the Governor's Cup, I was with him all week in Kentucky, and he lived down the road, and he's going, and I would have never even known the guy, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for this championship. So
that's awesome.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I think it's just a great thing for more people to get together and do more things about hunting,
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So what are you fixing to do this weekend now? Talking about all this killing and community and you were in Kansas or Kentucky last week, right? You just
Kentucky last week.
So now you're in where? Kansas, you said?
Right now I'm in Kansas City. I came to my buddy's house for a couple of days to hang out before I head down to Kansas because I wasn't going to go all the way back to Rhode Island and then come back here for a day. You know what I mean? It's a lot of traveling. I can just come from there to here. So I figured I'd come here and hang out for a day or two and then head to Kansas. So I think that we're going to, I think this whole championship thing, I just can't wait to meet everybody. I can't wait to meet 18 guys that want to hunt. That's unbelievable. You don't see much of that. Where I come from, you don't see much. I mean, there's hunters, but you really don't see much of that in the immediate spot I'm from.
Yeah.
And you're going to meet different hunters from different places and do different things. It's just, I love it.
Everyone where you're from is a fisherman.
Yeah, we're fishermen and hunters. A lot of fishermen, a lot of hunters. And, I'm having a beer. I'm having a Bush Light, and we're having this. It's Macallan. Ooh, some Macallan we're going to have.
Macallan.
I'm having a Bush Light.
Nice.
This is the land of Bush Light over here.
The timber Pepsis.
That's awesome.
Oh, shit. Boy, that smells fucking delicious. Not even fishermen can drink Bush Light, man. Wow, that's some tough stuff. Wow, that's tough stuff. It really is. I gotta have some of them beers that you're. So what I want to say is that I went to Kentucky last week, and we had some. I got a group of guys that we go with, and I mean, what hunting's all about is just the camaraderie and absolute ball busting. We bust balls. You know what I mean? But we shoot bucks, and I mean, we went to Riverbend Whitetails last week. Nick Kofelt, Kenneth Burgess, and Denny Doherty. Those guys worked so hard to get us deer, and we got 7 for 8. And the reason why the 8th guy didn't shoot is because it wasn't big enough. A guy we call Dr. Quinn. He's got medicine for everything. He's like a medicine man is what he is,
He's got that organic kind too?
Yeah, Well, we use cousin Stinkpole. We meet your cousin Stinkpole, Roger. He lives on Prudence Island. He's a killer too.
Oh, nice.
You're gonna meet him. You're going, oh boy, where do you meet that kid? You guys are gonna love him.
Nice.
But and we ended up shooting 4 deer last week. I think we entered them for the NAWTC for this upcoming season. We got one big one, and it's great. But like you say, there's nowhere like home. I grew up hunting in Rhode Island, and I love Rhode Island hunting. It's unbelievable. I mean, when you're sitting in those woods in Rhode Island, and you get that smell of those rotten oak leaves and stuff, there's nothing better. I mean, you guys hunt Connecticut. I hunt the Connecticut. You guys hunt Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah, you guys hunt Connecticut. Connecticut's got a pretty decent season. I got a couple of good guys. A kid named Rob Gaspar. He killed some big bucks in Connecticut. Him and his wife, they killed some giants. And, like I said, it's just tough to get on the ground. You got to have the ground. Or you got to put the time in for the state ground. Either way, if you want to kill deer, you're going to find a way to do it. You're going to either go, knock on the doors, get in with a club, or, you're going to put the time in and do the state thing,
Yeah, for sure.
It may take a little while, but you'll get them. No doubt about it.
So take us through your experience in last week where you just got back from, because you started talking about the calls from Nor'easter, and just real quick touch on what they thought about the calls and then bleeding into the actual hunt. Take us through the experience, man.
You want me to take you through the hunt? I shot a 9-pointer last week on the second night, and he was about 145 inches. He was a nice buck, full velvet, beautiful.
Damn.
And I got it all on Tacticam. I got the whole thing. I'll send you some footage. I'll send you some footage of it. So when I went in the woods, I went after this giant 9-pointer. I bet you he was 170 inches. He was a giant. And I got in the tree about 7 o'clock. And I had just gotten off the phone with Mark at Nor'easter Game Calls, because he's going to make some duck calls for, like I said, the guides.
Yep.
And when I got in that tree around, I don't know if it was 3 o'clock, about 4 o'clock, I heard some noise behind me, and a doe and a baby come busting out. And all of a sudden, this giant that I was after, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it must have been 90 degrees, he come busting off this top ridge. And behind him was a couple coyotes. Now, I don't know if they just went by him too close, but he was coming out of there like a freight train, and he went across this top, and then he turned, went in the woods, and about a minute later, he went back the other way where he came from, and he was, the last time I seen him, he was in the next zip code. I mean, he was screaming out of there. Well, that's the deer I was going to get. So that's the one I wanted to shoot. Well, he was going to be gone, and chances are he wasn't going to be back during the day once he gets screwed up like that. So now I'm sitting there, and about, I don't know, maybe 6:30, I look, and I had a couple of does come in, and a nice 8-pointer I was just watching, and this beautiful 9-pointer with big, big velvet horns, he just come out of the woods with a big gray, black face. He'd come out of them woods with them does, and he'd come by me at 6. I mean, he was 6 feet when I shot him.
Jesus.
And I mean, I love. I mean, you can hear me breathing. I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you what. I love to kill deer. And that deer, I shot him. He didn't go 10 feet. He dove to death, and that was the end of him. But it was a phenomenal hunt because I don't get caught up too much in the game of inches. I mean, I do for the NAWTC thing. You got to measure them, but I love to deer hunt. That big buck, if I got him, I got him. If I didn't, believe me, I was not packing up 145-inch deer to just to wait on a big buck. I'm not doing it because I'm a deer hunter. I'm a buck hunter. That's my buck. That's the one I got, and I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like this week, after the NAWTC, I might hold out. I might not. It depends how I feel. I might not even see a buck. Who knows what's going to happen when we get there? I mean, they haven't really told us much. So when we get there, we're going to see what happens.
I'm sure you'll see something, man. You got you got that luck with you. You know what I mean?
Well, let's hope. But I will tell you this about that NAWTC. I mean, they want to, and this is speculation, of course. They want to get this right because they want this to be a long-lasting thing. And they've been working their tails off down there for months to get it prepared. I mean, you know how many stands that these guys had to hang and how much stuff they had to do? You know, every hunter's going in the tree with the cameraman. Not only are they doing all that for you, I mean, they're doing all this for you. And in the end, you're paying $300 to enter. You're going to get a guided hunt that probably costs $4 or $5 grand with a muzzle loader. You're getting a muzzle loader. God knows what else they're going to give you when you get there. Okay. And you're going to, everything is set up for you, which, I mean, I don't mind hanging stands or anything, but they've got all this done for you, giving you a cameraman to film your hunt, and they're doing all this for you so you can go shoot a big buck. And if you shoot the biggest one, they're going to give you a check for $50 grand. I mean, you don't want to pay $300 to get into that. Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a no-brainer where I come from. I may be a bull raker, but I ain't stupid.
What's the outfitter that you're going to down there in Kansas?
We're going to Wicked Outfitters. Now,
Wicked.
My boy here, my boy Jimmy Giles here, this kid here, he lives in Kansas City. He lives near him, and he was telling me that he's heard through the grapevine that these guys are pretty good. These guys are good, and all the inquiries I made, and I've seen deer on their their websites. They look like they're a really good outfitter. I have never been there, so I don't know yet. But from the word on the street is these guys is killers, and I like killers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I
yeah.
like guys that kill them. That's what I like.
I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
And
we're going to go see what happens.
I don't think an operation like that's going to put you in a bad place. They're going to put you with some of the best.
Well, they're going to do the best they can. Remember, they got 18 guys, so they're going to do the best they can for you. And whatever happens, happens. I mean, it's like I said, I'm going down there to meet people, and I'm going to go sit in a tree and enjoy myself. I'm going to meet a lot of new people, so I'm happy already. I'm happy because I'm just getting to go. But
and that's what it's about.
Yeah, no, that's what it's all
hunting.
about in the end. I mean, don't get me wrong. Would I like to take $50 grand back to the East Coast? Oh, you know that. I would take that baby right home. But, is it going to happen? Who knows? Whatever. I'm happy for whoever it happens for, and I'm just going to have fun. And then they have a big banquet with some country music stars and stuff down there. They're going to have a big banquet. I got tickets. You guys want to go? I'll fly in. You want to go?
Don't tempt us.
You guys want to go?
Don't tempt us with a good time, man. Shit.
Hey, next Saturday, you guys want to come in? Come in Friday night. Come on in.
You know what?
I got the tickets.
You know what? After we hit stop, remind me of that because I'm interested.
Listen, you should be. You should be interested. I got tickets. We'll go. No problem.
If it wasn't in the middle of fishing season, I'd be there.
We got places to stay. I got places all over the place around here. The place that I hunt in Kansas is only about, 3 hours? 3 hours from here. So, I mean, like I said, I got places. We are all set. You just got to, hey, listen, kid, you stick with me, we be wearing diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about nothing.
Fuck yeah. I already got the gold, so the diamonds will accent the gold nice.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Come on now.
Hell yeah.
And I'll tell you this is that you'll understand it more than anybody probably is that it's the middle of fishing season. It's tough for me to leave right now.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. It is. But for whitetails, listen, I've done a lot of things. I mean, listen, my wife, I'm going to tell you this, and she knows it. So my wife has the address to every outfitter I go to, everywhere I am. If you don't like what I'm doing, I told her, go get the papers from the lawyer, send them in the mail, I'll sign them, send them home, especially during the rut because I can't be bothered. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like
I can't be bothered during the rut, man. It's not happening.
Sounds like you're blessed with a really good woman, man.
Oh, no, she's good. She's mean, but she's all right.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Don't worry, she's not listening to this.
You just got married. Hey, you just got married, didn't you?
Yeah, August 3rd.
Well, listen, I'm happy that you got married. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Because why should you have a good life? And come join the party. You're going to see. You're going to see in about, I don't know, I give it about 2 years. You'll see what it's all about.
All right. That's what people keep on saying, but you know what? I keep on praying.
Yeah, no, I'm only kidding. You're going to love it. It's all good. You know what I mean?
That's funny, man.
Yeah, so listen, I'm excited. I mean, I can't wait to, I just can't wait to go here. And I got some other hunts going on, too, that I'm going to be doing, throughout the year. So, I mean, hopefully I'm sending you guys some pictures. I'll give you a call and let you know what's going on. I mean, I got some really good people. I got some real good deer people. I mean, that really know deer, love deer, and they like to kill them. That's the biggest thing. You got to have a guy that you're hunting with the same passion as you that want him to die. That's the big thing,
Hell yeah. I couldn't agree more with that, man. For sure. Because you don't want to go to a place that they keep on giving you the thumbs down because of for whatever reason. You want to go to the guy that's like, yep, thumbs up. There you go.
Well, the big thing is, too, like I said, when we were talking on the phone, you and I were talking, and, when you talk to people on the phone about deer hunting, I've been deer hunting for 30 years. Not that I know everything. I do know something. And I do know when I'm talking to somebody who has the experience or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when you talk to those people, like when I got with John Hankey in Kansas, I talked to that kid, and, man, boom, we clicked. That kid knows deer. He knew deer, all about deer. We were talking we knew exactly what each of us was talking about. There you go. When I went to Riverbend Whitetails with Kenneth Burgess and Nick Kofelt, talked to those guys about deer, they know their deer. They know exactly what's going on. Those are the people you need because, remember, we don't live up in here. We live on the East Coast. You want to shoot the big bucks in the middle of the country, you got to travel there. And you got to travel there, and it all depends on how much time you have. So time's limited. And, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It's the luck of the draw, too, but it does help when you have people that know the deer, It helps. I mean, I got Brad Snow in Ohio. You follow Brad Snow?
Yep.
You want to see it?
We know all about him.
You want to see a deer killing son of a bitch? Let me tell you something. That kid is a deer man. He gets on him. He kills them. I hunt with that kid all the time. He is a deer man. That's what you're looking for.
That's pretty dope. Did you so happen to catch? I don't know. I'm assuming you do listen to the show, but I don't know if you heard the Tattooed in the Wild episode. Keith Chirac out of Ohio. He's in close ties with Brad Snow too, and that's another zombie slayer, man. He's just unreal, that kid. And also Ryan Davis out of Ohio. He's got his own private farm, nice and managed and stuff. It's not high fence. You know what I mean? It's not high fence at all. It's all.
Oh yeah, no.
It's pretty dope.
I never hunted in a high fence, but people do, and you want to hunt in a high fence. You know what I say? Go get them, because in the end, it's a dead deer. To me, that's what it means. You want to go hunt anywhere you want. Go kill them, enjoy it, especially when you get older. Let me tell you something. When I was 30 years old, 15 years ago, there was no stopping me. I would have walked to Kansas if I had to kill a deer. You know what I'm saying? From Rhode Island. I would have walked there with my bow on my back if I had to. Now it's like, oh, my God, I got to get up in the morning to go hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what?
I love it.
If high fences, you know why I love high fence? High fence, I love it because for the person that doesn't have the time. The person that doesn't have the time and just wants to put one down. Very limited time, and they're willing to pay for that. So, I mean...
Listen, good for them. Let them get them. Let them get them. Like I said, I've never been there. but let them get them. They want to get them. I'll be right there. They need a hand dragging it. Call me up. We're going hand dragging if I'm around. You know.
Hell yeah.
There's no problem. I have no problem with anybody hunting any way they want.
Hell yeah.
Go get them.
Amen, bro.
You know?
Amen. So, Billy, just so we get to know you even a little more intimate, you're primarily a bow hunter, right?
I am a bow hunter, but this year, I'm 45 years old. This year, I'm going to go with the crossbow.
Yes.
I'm going with my crossbow everywhere I go. Now, listen, I've shot deer since I was 12 years old with a bow and arrow. This 1 year right here, I'm going to dedicate to the crossbow. I want to try a new way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you, in Kentucky, I did it. Let me tell you something. That deer, I don't think he went 15 feet. You know what I mean? It's still a challenge because you got to get that. You know, that bow and arrow. You put that thing up when they're coming. You hold it still and you pull it back. That crossbow's pretty big. You got to kind of maneuver that thing and get to the point where you got to make sure they really, really walk by you to get them. You know, because you got to swing that son of a bitch up. So it's its own game too, and that's what I'm doing. I like to do all of it. I mean, I shot a couple deer with guns, not many. I shot 2 nice bucks at Brad's, Killing Buck Outfitters, and I mean, I love the gun season over there, and I like shooting with a gun. That's fun. I was just a diehard bow hunter my entire life. I mean, I shoot an elite bow that is just phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Do you honor it?
Huh?
Do you honor it?
Oh, I honor that ritual all the time. Listen, that ritual, that ritual is unbelievable. Now, my cousin was a big Matthews guy his whole life. He had Matthews, and they make a fine bow too. But he put that ritual that I got in his hand, and he was on the phone. He shot 2 shots. He was on the phone ordering one for my guy. He was on the phone. He couldn't believe it. And he shot a 139-inch 8-pointer in Kentucky with me last week, and he smoked it. The deer didn't go 50 yards. And it's just so smooth. Those bows are so smooth. They're just made. I mean, it's like a glove. It's just fit. It's like fitting. I mean, it's unbelievable. Those bows, those rituals, I mean, they got it down. And I think we got the 30s. I got the ritual 30s we got the desert sand camo pattern there, the one with the stars on it, I mean, the camo pattern and the job they do on those bows is phenomenal. So we got those bows from Doug Lyons, Dark Horse Archery in Colorado. That kid can put a bow together like nothing you've ever seen. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of the best. I met him at Riverbend Whitetails in Kentucky the first year I went there. And he knows bows. He knows bow and arrows. But that elite bow is just something that is so smooth. They call them old man bows, but they're really not because they're fast. I mean, they're fast. I shoot mine at 70 pounds, and, I mean, I'll kill a deer. I'll shoot him 50 yards with that thing and not even think about it,
Hell
and that's pretty good for bow and arrow that I'm thinking,
Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt.
Especially where you're hunting, even back home, that's tough timber to be hunting and shooting 50 yards.
Yeah, back home, if you're in Rhode Island and Narragansett, you're in the rhododendrons over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. About 5 feet if you're lucky.
Yeah,
and on Prudence Island, you're in the briars. So, you know what I mean? Your shots are limited. But, your shots are limited, but...
Yeah, you ain't shooting 50 yards too often in Rhode Island.
No, not on the East Coast.
No, not often, but sometimes you can. I mean, if you got the ground, you take care of it and everything. If you got that kind of ground where you could take care of it like that, sure you can. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But, if you're, for mostly the state ground, you got to go with what's there, And like state ground in Rhode Island, I know guys, you want to shoot deer. You want to just come down and shoot deer. We had guys from Maine come down when I lived on Prudence Island and everything. I took them all over. They shot deer, and they loved it. And I love guys who like to just kill deer. That's my thing. I like to kill them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to shoot the big buck. But, hey, if he don't come, whatever comes, gets it. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. So let's get back to the crossbows, man, because I'm very, very intrigued. Because it's just something to be said, too, because for the number one thing, and this was something really cool that Tim Sylvia brought up recently, that it's the greatest tool of harvest for a kid, number one, to teach them the fundamentals and being ethical and making it easy because it's not a big boom or big sound like a rifle. And it's also, it's more forgiving in the sense of like not compared to a bow, where if you don't have proper form, you could easily miss a shot or make an unethical shot, what have you. And then on top of that, it's the perfect transition tool from a gun hunter to bow hunting. And then the reason I'm so much more interested is because of the pictures you showed me of your crossbow, because that shit is ill as fuck.
So listen to me. I'm going to tell you something right now. Crossbows changed the hunting game. The old men who had to worry about having to pull back 45 pounds who can't do it, they shoot the crossbow. My son, my boy, last year he killed 2 deer at Prudence Island. Let me tell you something. He loves to hunt. He loves that crossbow. He shot 2 deer like it was nothing, and he enjoyed it. And I enjoyed watching him. And that's what made me want to shoot a crossbow this year, was watching my son shoot the deer with the crossbow last year. He shot a doe, and she ran about maybe 10 yards, stopped, looked back, didn't even know she was hit, and she fell down dead. And the other one he shot went about 25 yards and died. And then the buck that I killed in Kentucky just now, I told you, he dove to death. He didn't even run. He dove to death. So that's telling me that this is probably my whole life I learned to be efficient in everything I do, fishing and everything. This is the most efficient tool made to kill deer. And I like killing deer, and I like not having to chase them a country mile sometimes. And this is pretty good. So I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fighting it. I like the crossbow. Like the crossbow. The crossbow makes hunters. Tim Sylvia, 100% right. It's a great tool for the kid to use, a great tool for the old men to use. It's a great tool for anybody to use. You know, you just got to be careful with it and make sure it's right. Now, I go through a guy named Dave Murray, Vital Limits, in New Jersey. He takes those Raven crossbows and he modifies them to what you would not believe. I mean, I could shoot my crossbow 100 yards. If it wasn't so hot where I was in Kentucky, they were going to put a corn pile off of me about 80 yards, and I was going to shoot one at 80 yards with my crossbow. I mean, I was shooting 80 yards with my crossbow, and it was sinking in there like unbelievable. And another factor, like you were talking about the bow and arrow before, you know, your form's not right, this isn't right. Bow and arrow is a game of discipline. You got to be disciplined for the bow and arrow. There's no doubt about it. A little discipline for the crossbow to make sure you anchor your nose is in the right spot on the stock or whatnot to make sure everything's right. But the bow and arrow takes years and years to master. And in this day and age, you know, the way things are, people don't have the time anymore. So it's easier to get the crossbow, get the bolts, shoot it, kill them, and be done with it. Because in the end, it's a dead deer. You know what I'm saying? In the end, whether you shoot it with a bow or crossbow, it's a dead deer. The guys who want to kill them with the bow and arrows, hey, listen, take the time, shoot them. I mean, I love shooting with the bow and arrow. Don't get me wrong. The crossbow, though, that's a new animal for me. I like it. We're going to see how far I can get with it this year. You know, I missed some opportunities with my bow and arrow in Kansas a couple of years ago on some probably 160, 165 bucks that were just absolutely huge at John Hankey's and Hankey's Hunts. And, you know, I swore to God, I don't want to move. I'm 45 now. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose those opportunities at 50 yards with a bow because there's a little bit of wind or I'm not sure. So I had to watch him walk away. With that crossbow that I have from Dave Murray, let me tell you something. I'm going to kill them, and they're going to die. And that's going to be the end of it. That's how I like it. You know?
You know what, though?
I like it.
I love everything you're saying, though, because exactly what you just said. Like, with a regular bow and arrow, you know, you at 50 yards, everything's a factor. Whereas, you know, it's more forgiving with a crossbow. So I like everything you're bringing up because that's everything everyone should just soak in. Every single word you're saying because, I mean, that's you said 30 years doing this, you said?
I was 12 and I'm 45. And I'm 2 McCallums in now, so I can't even add that together.
Hell yeah.
It's 32 years.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So,
that's what it is, man.
So listen, that's right. That's what it is. So, you know, the people that say, hey, listen, you know, I'm more of a challenge with a bow and arrow. And you know what? It might be. It might be more of a challenge for you. Some people don't want the challenge. Some people want to shoot them and kill them and eat them. And that's what they want to do. They don't want to sit and freeze and, you know, just not shoot the deer. They want to kill them. They want to eat them. And that's what it's about. and they want to go home and get their kid, take a picture, and say, hey, you know, when the kid was little, hey, this is my old man. He took me hunting. He took me out. We dragged the deer. You make a memory. That's what it's about.
Amen. Amen to that, man.
That's right.
That is what it's about. Getting the next generation in there, no matter what sparks their interest, because and that's something as a daddy you need to pay attention to, like what drives your kid, because maybe the kid, some kids surprise me, man. Some of them learn the discipline right away. Like I've seen with my own eyes, some kids just say, nah, I want to wait for a bigger buck. And that right there, like I almost cried. Like it got me choked up. Like, damn it, man. It's like this kid gets it at a young age. You know, it's just unbelievable.
Well, see, I like those kids. I love those kids. Please, shoot the biggest bucks if possible. I'll go in there and shoot all the other deer. Don't worry about nothing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right, man.
No, but seriously, if the kid wants to shoot, like, you know, kids want to shoot a big buck, that's encouragement. They want to shoot a big one, let them shoot it. Let them do whatever they want. I know kids that want to go in the woods and shoot their first deer and be happy they shot it, whether it's a button buck or a doe or whatever, spike horn. And that's I mean, whatever anybody wants to do it. That's what hunting's about.
Yeah.
Go out there and do it.
Amen,
and some
man.
people just want to giant bucks because they got the time in the ground. You know, hunting's a lot like fishing. If you have the resources, that's the word. You have the resources. If you have the resources, then you can do things. You don't have the resources. That's the difference between going to, you know, Kansas to guy and shooting a 150-inch buck, or having your own ground, managing it for 5 years, going in there and shooting a booner, or going to state land and shooting a spike horn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the end, it's all three dead deer. It don't matter. They're all dead deer in the end. You know what I mean? But the guy with the most resources usually shoots the biggest buck. That's what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Especially with like all the TV and stuff. The guys, the multimillionaires who go out and buy the ground, and they got all this ground, and they go in there and they fluff it up, which is awesome. I mean, I think that's awesome that they do that, and they have the ability to do it, and they're taking recreational land and they're making it happen. You know what I mean? So people can see what can go on, and they go in there and they shoot these giants. You know, a guy like me and maybe a guy like you, we could never do that. We just got to hunt within whitetail means. Okay, you have to learn how to hunt within your whitetail means, which means if you go in the woods and this is your woods and there's a spike horn coming there every day and you shoot the spike horn, well, guess what? You hunted within your whitetail means. If you go to the Midwest and you're sitting there for 5 days and a 125-inch ape hunter comes by every day, but you want to shoot a 160 and you shoot the 125, well, you hunted within your whitetail means, because you have to hunt what's there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the big buck might have been there in September, but he's chasing those in November, 5 miles away. You know?
Yeah.
So I always hunt. I've learned a long time ago, you have to hunt within your whitetail means. Wherever you go, look the situation over and say, yep, I think I can kill this one, or I think I want to make a kill. I'll kill this one. Or some guys don't want to make a kill, and they'll let those 2 bucks go and grow. The problem with letting them go, you don't know if they're going to get hit by a car.
I know. That's what I always think sometimes.
You don't know any of that stuff.
Especially over here, yeah.
I know, but listen, here's the thing. If you want to be a big buck killer, Brad Snow always told me, listen, you either gut it or you don't. It's that simple. You're either going to sit in that tree and you're going to let every single deer walk by you till the one you want comes by, whether it takes 5 years, 10 years, or 12 years, or you kill one every year. You know what I'm saying? If you want to shoot a big one, then you can't shoot a 170 if you shoot a 160. It's not possible. It's if you got one tag in one state. So you got to just let them go. And I got a tough time with that.
Yeah.
I got a hard time with letting them go. I like killing them. I don't care if it's 160, 180, 130, or 140. If it's a legal buck where I'm hunting, chances are it's going to get shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's just the thing. Go ahead.
You want to be a big buck hunter. You want to be a big buck hunter and shoot the big buck. It might take you 5 years to get one. But when you get that one, you might get the one you want, or you might miss them. I would rather kill one than not. But that's me. You know?
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And that's where I'm torn a lot because I know what I want at the ending goal, but Trev says this a lot, is it takes killing deer to know how to kill deer. And that's the mission I'm more disciplined. I feel my mentality is more disciplined coming into this third season of whitetail hunting. And but I can't see myself, passing on, especially early season. If I see a nice velvet, even if it's under 120, even if it's not Popin, let's say it's just like just over 100 inches, and it's got a good body and it's not too young, I'm saying I'm probably smoking it. You know what? Fuck that. I am going to smoke it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. I need to get kills under the belt.
Hey, I'm a buck hunter. I'll kill a big buck. I'll kill that. A 120, whatever. But, here's the thing. It depends on the situation. The ground you're on with this 120 that you have, do you own it? Does anybody else hunt it? There's a lot of factors. You know what I mean? Can you honestly say that you're gonna take care of this deer? You're gonna give him the food. You're gonna grow food plots. You're gonna give him the cover, and you're gonna have the water on the property to hold them there. If you can hold them there, and you honestly in your heart think you can hold them there, then you give them a chance to go till the next year. But if not, and you want to kill a deer, hey, you know what? Kill that deer. Kill it and enjoy it. Kill it, enjoy it. Take your old lady, take your old man, take whatever you got. Go look for this deer, track him down, put one person on the last blood, and keep going. You know what I'm saying? Till you find them and make it a big event, and you got your deer. That's where I come from.
That's good info right now. Can you explain a little bit? Put one of your people on the last blood. Can you just dip just really quick into what that means?
Well, what that means is when you go track a deer, like when we were in Kentucky just now, it's hard to track the deer because everything's green. It's hard to track the green with the blood. So, what we do is we always make sure that we have a guy that stays on the very last blood that we find to get to the next blood. So, my cousin Roger, stink pole we call him, he shot a 140-inch 8-pointer. Well, we would call him Inspector Taint. we call him Inspector Taint sometimes too. But what happened was he shot a nice deer, but the arrow didn't go through all the way because what happened was he shot the deer back. And he shot it with a rage head. Those elite bows, those rituals, you really want to shoot iron will broadheads or slick tricks with them. You want a fixed blade with them. Much better than expandable, in my opinion, because they're not a super speed bow. They're a beautiful, smooth bow, and you need to adjust your hunting strategy to that. But he shoots the deer, and it only went about 70 yards. We found 2 spots of blood, okay? And we had the guy, Denny, at Riverbend Whitetails. We had him on the last blood. So we were looking for the blood, and it's hard in that green grass. We go right to where the deer ran in, and Denny stayed on the last blood. So we made a few circles, and then we found another spot of blood, and we made another circle, and boom, we found the deer, It's kind of hard when you got to make sure you got a person on the last blood that knows which way he was going, especially at dark or in the nighttime when you're looking for it, We could have let the deer sit for the night, but he was confident in his shot, and he's almost killed as many deer as me, not quite, but he gets them. So,
hell yeah. So
I would trust what he says.
Hell yeah. I want to backtrack a little bit back to your crossbow because you said that your boy in Jersey mods the shit out of your crossbow. Can you break down the certain mods because it's very impressive, man? Like I'm very, very intrigued. I might just take out the crossbow a couple times this year.
Absolutely.
To stay sharp on it, You should know all your weapons.
Anybody should. Listen, I got an arsenal of weapons. I'll kill them with anything. If they made slingshots legal, I'd shoot them. You know what I'm saying? I want to just kill them. I don't care what I kill them with. I want them to die. So, anyway, Dave Murray, Vital Limits Archery in New Jersey. So what he does is he takes, I use a Raven crossbow because it's fast. So this Raven crossbow, he takes these Raven crossbows, he puts these special rests on them, he puts special arrows through them that are heavier, and he changes all the nuts and bolts out of it that are regular steel, and with titanium, so it all absorbs energy. and he puts these special dampeners on them because the cast aluminum or the cast steel or whatever the hell it is that they make for the limbs, if you don't have those special dampeners on them, they flex too much, he says. So he is like a scientist when it comes to this. He knows exactly how to set a bow up. And what happens is, he set mine up last year, and I mean, I'm telling you, you cannot believe how that thing shoots. You can feel when you shoot it, there's nothing there. It just shoots. There's nothing there, like there's no vibration. And a lot of people give the Raven crossbow a C out of for a grade because the limbs, because their limbs break. The limbs break because they don't have dampeners in them. The limbs break because they don't have the right dampeners in them. And the limbs break because they're cast. And cast doesn't do well with that much power hitting the string, So
that makes sense.
I learned all that from this guy. And I'm telling you, the guy's a scientist when it comes to crossbows.
Have you?
So
what do you? Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
You tell me. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. What do you think about Camex crossbows? Because I shot that not too long ago at the Elite facility, and man, was that butter.
Well, so here's the thing. I haven't shot any other crossbows but a Raven, so I don't know.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I strongly encourage you to shoot a Camex. I mean, I'm not.
Well, I mean, I will. I'll get one. I'll get one and shoot it. Try it. We'll try one out. We'll see how it is.
You know what? I may know a guy. So before you buy one, just let me know.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll get one, and I don't want you shipping it to me. I want you shipping it to Dave Murray. I'll have him take it and dissect it. He'll shoot it. He'll go through it. He'll tell you the ins and outs of it. If he thinks it's put together right, what can be better. He works with a company called Fire Knock, who's another scientist with this stuff. And, I mean, they make some unbelievable stuff.
Where's Fire Knock out of?
Fire Knock, I think they're out of Illinois, or maybe. I don't know where they're out of, but I go through Dave to get my stuff.
Yeah.
But I use these broadheads. They're called swing blades. Swing blade broadheads for my crossbow. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, they're phenomenal. They drill right through them. They just turn and it's like a big drill going through the deal.
That's insane. Sort of like the tip.
I'm going to send you the footage. I'm going to send you the footage of I have that Tacticam FTS. I'll send you the footage. You'll see how far the deer goes. Goes about 3 feet and dies to death. That's it, done.
Cool, man. That's cool. So what big hunt are you looking? I mean, obviously you're looking forward to what you're getting into presently, but what's another hunt that you're kind of looking forward to down in the near future?
So listen, here's what we're doing. I'm going to Kansas for this hunt at Wicked Outfitters on Saturday, and we start hunting Monday. So we got to get our muzzle loaders and shoot them and all that stuff. So from Monday to Friday, I'm going there. I'm going to go home, go to work for a few weeks. Then I got a guy in Virginia. His name is Chip Watkins, Monquin Creek Outfitters. You want to see bucks in Virginia? I went there last year to try to save the velvet on short 4, the buck I killed in Kentucky, because the biggest buck they killed in Virginia was only 130 inches last year, and that guy has them. I mean, he's got 150-inch deer right in Richmond, Virginia. I mean, right there. And what happened was I went there, and I seen 120-inch deer all day long. I was waiting for like a 135, and I never seen one, but I didn't shoot one. But this year I'm going down there. He's got bucks that you wouldn't believe. He's got drop-tine bucks. He's got monster bucks. I'm going to go with him. He's a real good guy. He's got a phenomenal operation. And then I'm going to come home from there in the middle of October and go to Magnolia Acres in New Jersey for a couple of days. I got a hunt plan with a kid down there who's got phenomenal deer. And then I'm going to come home. I got to take my wife. They got a special hunt on Prudence Island. My wife's in a wheelchair, but they got a special hunt where you go with the shotgun on Prudence Island. So she's going there in October 22nd. So she gets them every year with the shotgun. She actually provides all the meat for my family. She's a provider, and she makes dog food, her own dog food with it, for my dogs. So we're going there. Then after I leave there, I'm going to my place in Kansas, to John Hankey's. He's got about 200 acres in Nebraska this year that I'm going to try to hunt. But first, before I go there, I'm going to a kid named Dustin Riggins, Two Creeks Outfitters, who shot 2 monster bucks in velvet already in Nebraska. I'm going to hunt with him for a week, and then I'm probably going to go with, Nebraska. Let me tell you something. You want to go to the Midwest? Nebraska's a 2-buck state. So I'm going to go to Dustin Riggins, Two Creeks Outfitters. Then I'm going to go see my boys, Mikey J and Caleb Rip at Bloody Creek Outfitters. And I went there last year. I shot a mule deer and a whitetail with those boys. And I might, hunt there for a while. And if I tag out both there, I'm just going to go to my place in Kansas there and hang out with the crew I usually do for a couple of days. And then after that, probably going to go see the one and only Brad Snow. I mean, I know he's going to have some stuff lined up. Once the rut starts, that kid gets on him. And, I mean, that's where I'm going to do. And after Brad Snow, who knows where I'm going to go? You know what I mean? Who knows? But I promise you, I'll be killing things from now till the end of November,
Dang, Bill. Yo, what do you do for a living, Billy?
What do I do?
What do you do for a living? Day to day?
I'm a bull raker. I'm a fisherman.
So can you dip? I know you mentioned that before, but just go into detail a little bit because it sounds like you got bread up the wazoo, but just to paint the picture, you know what I mean? Because, I'm going here, going there, killing all year long. Listen. You ever read Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal? You got to know how to make the art of the deal happen. You understand? You got to know how to work people. You got to talk to people. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to weasel your way in there. And that's what I do. There you go. There you go.
So you got to read. Listen, if you read the president's book, The Art of the Deal, you'll see. You got to get yourself in situations that you want to be in. I mean, I go, I talk. I tell these guys what, I mean, I only got 2,400, Instagram followers, but hey, I tell them, hey, that's 2,400 people you could have go hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, I work the deal. You gotta work that deal. If you don't work the deal, it's no good. You can never afford to pay a full price anywhere you go.
True that. Ain't that the truth, man?
So what is a bull raker by?
I'm a shell fisherman. I dig clams in Narragansett Bay.
Nice. So you're eating good in the neighborhood all the time.
Say that again?
You're eating good in the neighborhood all the time.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Bull raking, catching fish. I mean, I'm a fisherman too. I was a charter captain for 15, 20 years, and I got out of that because it got to be too much. But bull raking, I always ate good. You know what I mean? You may not have a lot of money, but you eat good. You know what I mean? You always eat good, that's for sure. Never not had a hot meal,
Yeah, for sure.
That's the business I'm in. I'm actually in the charter business. So
yeah,
you eat good. There's plenty of fresh fish to go around.
So talk to me. You're in the charter business. Where you out of?
I'm out of Groton, Connecticut. So I work on the Hellcat, the party boat. It's a 150 passenger party boat.
Yeah. You work on a party boat. Yeah.
Yep.
I seen that boat out there on the block.
Yep.
I seen you guys out there on the block. Yeah.
We fish block. We fish Montauk. We fish all of them. We're bottom fishermen now, so.
Yeah. I seen that boat out there before. Hell yeah.
I bounce around. I was kind of a boat whore. I worked on 3 or 4 different boats last year, and then I kind of settled on the party boat because that's where the money is, and go from there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you can. How old are you?
29.
All right, so listen, you're young enough. I mean, you get yourself a boat with a pair of twins on it, and get it on a trailer, and get your own thing going, and you'll be fine.
I'm in the process.
That's what I did.
It's in the process.
Yeah, I've done that. I did. Listen, let me tell you something. I striped bass fish my whole life, and did tuna fishing. I tuna fished my whole life, and I charter captained probably from the year 2000 till around 2015. And we fished the block. I fished out front of Newport, Rhode Island. I mean, we killed some giant stripers, and I built a pretty good clientele. Now the problem that we ended up having was when they went to that one fish.
Yep.
You know how they do the one fish now? It's one fish.
It's getting worse.
What happens is,
they're going to 36 inches next year.
I know, that's insane.
Right, so yeah, exactly. So what happened was, 2 fish at a person, I could make the day stretch out. We get them, you know what I mean? I take the people, we catch them, we keep catching them. The problem with one fish, I got 4 guys in my boat. We're done at 6 in the morning. What do? Do I fish for another species? Do they want to pay for that much more effort? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because you want to fish with me, you got to pay. And that's the way it is. You'll catch a fish. I smoked them my whole life. I mean, catching fish was easy.
Right.
You know, we caught a lot of bass. Block Island, Southeast Light, all through the back of the before the EE zone.
Yep.
You know, the nipple, the peanut, all them spots there.
Oh yeah.
And the cock and balls, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
We killed them all over that place, and in Newport too. In Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's
you
popping.
Go off on a Newport. You want to see some giant stripers. I mean, I killed some monsters out there from Brenton Reef all the way to Elbow Ledge. You know what I'm saying?
That's where Scott McGregor goes spearfishing. Yeah. Yep.
Listen. They go spearfishing there a lot because those big giant bass, they go in and eat, and then they come out to them reefs at night. They come out to those reefs at night. I mean, in the morning. They eat all night. They come out to them reefs in the morning, and they just lay there. You know what I mean? And them spearfishing.
They sleeping.
They sleep. And what happens is those fish at Block Island, those are migrating fish all the time. You ever notice how big the heads are and how skinny the bodies are?
Yeah. Yeah, why is that?
Because that's because they're eating sand eels. They're eating sand eels. So they eat all the sand eels, and what happens is they're eating sand eels, their metabolism is just one way. When those fish live in Newport, they're eating sea bass, they're eating tautog, they're eating all kinds of stuff, and they summer there. They live there. So their metabolism slows down because there's all different proteins that their bodies are breaking down, and they get big and fat and round, you know? And I killed some big ones at Block Island too. But, the best fish I've ever killed was in Newport. Those are the prettiest fish, in my opinion. They get gold. They get the gold like the codfish. You catch the codfish, the ground keepers are that gold color.
Yeah.
And the other ones are light colored. The ground keepers, the same thing with the stripers. They get like that black and gold on them. Yeah, they're pretty.
So, talking all this fishing, do you do any bow fishing too?
I've never bow fished, but you know Jay Paul there, the alligator hunter kid there?
Yep.
Yeah, he goes to Brad Snow's, and that kid there, he's a hell of a bow fisherman. They kill everything. He's got his kids shooting all kinds of stuff. I watch him all the time on his Facebook,
Yeah, yeah.
But
know who else is a slayer for bow fishing?
Who is
it? Come on, man. Our bro on our East Coast team, the Modern Assassin down in Maryland.
Who?
Garrett Benner, the Modern Assassin, and Nick Mathers from work.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, okay, I got you now. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I never bow fished. I don't pay much attention to it.
Oh my God, you'll get hooked. Ask Trev.
Yeah.
Ask Trev.
And I'll tell you this is, you probably know where all the carp are in Rhode Island, so I got a game plan, and I'll bring you out bow fishing. I'm going to make a rig. See, in Connecticut, what ended up happening was they actually put on regulations on the carp here. They said that they were non-invasive, and they don't like you bow fishing in here. But in Rhode Island, I know there's a ton of carp in Rhode Island.
Yeah, well, I'm not a carp fisherman. You know what I mean? I'm really not a freshwater fisherman.
Right.
I mean, I do like to go bass fishing with the shiners. I really like that. I love catching those big largemouths with shiners. But as far as fishing, if I'm not making money, let me tell you something. There's an old saying on the water. If you don't smell like fish, you ain't making money.
That's right.
You smell like fish, salt. You smell like fish, fresh water. You can't sell them. You can't move them. I can't go.
That's what a lot of people say to me. You don't smell like fish. We're not going fishing with you.
That's right. You want a dirty boat. Make sure you got a bloody. Hey, listen, my boat was full of blood. Hey, I used to go down Route 1 from Block Island.
Yep.
And my bilge pump would kick on, and people would come over, and they would say to me, "Hey, there's red stuff pouring out of your boat. What the hell is it?" You know what I should tell them? That's success.
Yeah.
That's what I used to tell them.
That's like a bloody pickup truck.
Yeah,
I love it.
Exactly.
Success.
So, Billy, tell us real. Oh, you there?
I'm here, bro.
Oh, okay, cool. So tell us real quick. Out of all the hunts that you've been on all your life, man, what was that one moment that it kind of caught you with your pants down or made your heart drop and you're like, fuck me. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know. It was probably the biggest buck I ever killed in my life. I killed about a 180. And I had just gotten out of the woods to take a nap. Because, you know, I like to hunt, but I like to nap a lot. But the rut, it was at the end of the rut. And it was one of them days where when you go bow hunting, you know, you learn to read the weather a lot. And it was one of those days where, you know, where the day seems three-dimensional when it's overcast and everything is, the trees are so still.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So I get out of the woods and I ate lunch, I took a nap, and my cousin has shot a big buck. And they were taking a taxidermist. He says, hey, listen, you want to go in the woods, you got to go now. I'm like, hey, listen, I just get out of the woods. But I said, you know what? Figured I'll go back in. I got dressed, and they dropped me off. I think it was 2 o'clock. I get in my stand, and I texted my wife, and I said, hey, I just got in the stand. I put the stand on another stand. We had a camera set, and just then I looked, and here comes a doe, and she was panting. She was running. It was November 18th or 20th. She runs under my tree and stops. And, boy, did she stop, and she was looking back hard. You know, she was getting chased. And I was watching her. And all of a sudden, I just happened to look, and here comes an absolute giant. I wasn't in the tree for 10 minutes. Here comes an absolute giant. And he came, and he stopped and looked at that doe. And as he stopped and looked at that doe, I shot him, and he took off running. And he stopped, actually, on the top. And he did not want to leave that doe, but he was hurt. And he went down and down, and you know, we left him alone and went back and got him. And he was about 180 inches. He was just I think it was a 16 or 18 pointer. He was just a giant. And that right there, that was probably the most defining moment for me as a bow hunter, like the pinnacle that you reach. You know, you want to shoot that giant? Well, that was him. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
That was something, let me tell you. I mean, I shot a lot of bucks that probably scored 150. I got a couple 160s. You know what I mean? God knows how many 130s I killed. And, you know, like I said, I only put one buck in the book. I put 2 bucks in the book. But 1 buck in the book, the first Pope and Young buck I ever shot. And I put the first big buck I killed on Prudence Island. That was going to be over 100 inches. It was like 117. I put him in the Northeast Big Buck Club. You know what I mean? Those are the only 2 deer I put in the book, because I'm really not into the book stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just happy to go hunting.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But that's me. Some guys love I got people, friends of mine, they shot 20 Pope and Young deer. They're all in the book. And they got all the things framed, sitting next to the deer and everything. And I think it's cool. I just don't, you know what I mean? Whatever. You know? If I shoot a 200-incher, maybe I'll put him in.
Well, if you you shoot a 200-incher, please allow me to be your Pope and Young measurer.
Yeah. Oh, you measure him?
Yeah. I'm the only Connecticut Pope and Young measurer.
Oh, you're official?
Yeah, I'm official. I'm legit, bro.
Well, I just shot that 145. I gotta have that thing scored officially, I think. So I'll send that thing to you.
There you go. We'll hook up. I'll come to
my
you.
Taxidermist. I'll have my taxidermist, Travis Millard.
Yeah.
He's in Ohio. He's one of the best taxidermists in the country. He's the president of a bunch of taxidermy associations.
Not the one you just shot, though, right?
Yeah, the one I just shot. Did wait 60 days, but that was going to go.
Did you use your crossbow or a compound?
I used my crossbow, but we got to score at Boone and Crockett.
Oh, because, you can't do Pope and Young if it was crossbow. But I could still score the shit out of it.
Well, that's what I mean. No matter what happens, you still go. See, this is the good thing about that NAWTC. If the crossbow is legal where you're hunting, they don't care. It's legal. Shoot the deer. You're still going to have it scored the Pope and Young or the Boone and Crockett way for them to have the final score of what it is.
Oh, I see.
Whether you put it in the book or not is irrelevant to them.
Right.
You know, they just want the score with, the official scorer's name on it to know that the deer was scored properly.
Oh, shit. I'd be honored to do that, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, that's dope. I didn't know that. See? More inside details, man. Shit, Trev,
I'll let him in on another secret.
Go ahead.
If he needs a Euro mount, I'm your guy.
You're the Euro mount master?
I am.
Yeah, he owns Trez Euros here in Connecticut.
Really? Well, listen, I'm going to do some Euro mounts. My son, when he shoots him, he just shoots whatever. My wife, she shoots a lot of small bucks. And, I get the skulls done. I'll send you some. Something about those big bucks I kill, I just can't do it. I can't throw that beautiful cape away. They got to get mounted. I got to mount them all. You know what I mean? I probably got 120 deer mounted.
Trev's passion is so into Euros. I swear to God, if he shoots anything, even if it's a 160 and above, I know he's going to Euro that shit.
If I always said if I shoot a 200, I'm Euroing it, hands down, no questions asked.
Well,
it's
you know
Euroed.
what? Listen, that's your passion. That's your passion. Euro mounts are your passion, and that's great. And you should follow it, pursue it, and you know what I mean. Do everything you can for it. I think that's wonderful. And if I have any Euro mounts to do, they'll be on the way to you.
Hell yeah! Hey Billy, you made it.
I think that's awesome.
You made it to our first ending segment, Ninja Tip of the Day, man. What do you got for our listeners up and down the East Coast, and even our listeners out Midwest and the West Coast? Ninja Tip of the Day. Anything good advice, outdoors, or even life in general?
So listen, you want to know about deer hunting? The only way you're going to kill a big buck is you got to be on a big buck. It's that simple.
Boom.
There's nothing else I can say other than if you want to kill a giant, you got to be on a giant.
Boom.
You heard it from our man,
That's
Billy.
It.
Do your work.
And that's it.
Do your homework.
That's it.
I like
that. You
that.
got to be on them to kill them. You know what I'm saying? And it's that simple.
Who's your hit lister this year?
I'll tell you what. For right now, there's two of them. Chip Watkins in Montgomery Creek, he's got a giant over there with a drop tine that's big that I'd like to shoot. But this kid, let me tell you one thing I am. I am a sucker for a giant 8-pointer. And this kid, Dustin Riggins, the Two Creeks Outfitters, I bet you he's got an 8-pointer. Bet you he nets 160.
Damn.
I mean, if he's not bigger. Listen, I'm going to send you a picture of him. He sent me a picture of him. I'm going to find out if I can send it to you. He sent me a picture on July 2nd, okay? I'll tell you what. You tell me how big it is at that point in July 2nd. Got to have 10-inch brow tines. Got to have 26, 28-inch beams. You know what I mean? And he's got to have at least 10 to 12-inch tines. I mean, I'm gonna, and that's July 2nd.
That spread's got to be crazy too to be in the 160s too.
The spread's 23, 24 inches. I'm gonna send you the picture, and you tell me how big he is. Let me see if I can send it to you right now.
Now I'm curious. You got me locked in. Now I'm very curious.
I got a soft spot for big 8s.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can send it to you right now. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let's see.
I got a soft spot for mainframe 8s. Something about mainframe 8s.
Listen, I'm a sucker. You tell me. My boy Jimmy Giles, he's been my guy before, and he does a hell of a job. He's going to tell me right now. Hold on. Let's see.
It makes it move a little, Trev.
Hold on.
I just love. Look at this Euro right here. That's a mainframe 8. That's one of my favorite
buck too.
That's one of my favorite deer.
Insane. You ever score this one?
Speaking of, yeah, that was 143 and 5 days.
All right, so listen, I'm going to send you a picture of a deer. It'll be a big one, okay? That was sent to me on July 2nd. You tell me how much more this deer's got to grow, okay? From July 2nd, you probably had, what, a month or so? Yeah, that's it. I'm going to send this to you right now. Here we go. Look.
Damn, I can't wait.
I can hear them all chitter-chatting about it.
That's July 2nd. You tell me how big he is now. That spread's got to be 23, 24.
July 2nd? Oh, my God.
Yo, pass it over.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
Listen.
How old do you think he is? He looks like at least 4 years old, at least.
No, that deer. Listen, see the mass on that thing like that?
And look at the
mass on that thing?
Yeah. Yeah, he's up there, man. He looks good.
That's the minimum 5.5.
You think 5.5? You think that far?
Oh, easy. Yeah, I don't know. He's easy. Easy. No doubt.
The picture's kind of... Yeah, I see the white around the eyes and shit. Yeah. That's a beautiful...
See the mask on that thing.
Definitely.
See the ear. You see that ear?
Yeah.
The base, from the base to where the brow tine goes, is halfway up his ear. Softball.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
He's got to have at least 5-6 inch bases.
Fucking soda cans.
Yeah.
It's got a Timber Pepsi on the base.
Yeah, Timber Pepsi has a base. That's awesome. That's a beautiful buck, man.
You tell me. You tell me how.
And that's and that's something you're on.
Well, this is one he sent me pictures of. So hopefully, this is one that's there still. You know.
Hell yeah. That's
when
gonna
I
be
get
dope.
There, I mean, I know he hasn't shot it because he told me that he's seen them and he's living in the corn. So right now there's a lot of corn. Once the corn comes down, the big bucks go in the woods. You know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what happens there, you know.
Hell yeah, man.
I got some other ones I can send you.
We could do that after. We could do that after because I don't want to keep the listeners like, I want to see. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it's insane. But yeah,
I got one we call Mr. Perfect. He's got to be 180 inches. You know?
Wow, typical.
Oh yeah, no, he's typical. But he's got a couple kickers off the back.
Nice. All this positivity, man. We got to swing the page a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what time it is, Billy. What rattles your antlers, man? What rattles your antlers?
Sounds like a nor'easter game call, bro. Sounds like a nor'easter game call.
Yep. What rattles your antlers, Billy Sylvia? What gets under your skin? What bothers you the most about the outdoor industry, man?
What bothers me the most?
Yeah.
I don't know if the outdoor industry is pointed towards making people hunt or making people buy. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I like that. Please
elaborate.
elaborate.
I don't know. I don't know what it's about anymore. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. That's the thing. Nothing really bothers me other than, watching multimillionaires kill big bucks, and I can't because I'm not a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But hey, good for them. That's what I say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So what about it? I want you to elaborate a little bit because that's a good point you bring up. Like, sometimes I feel that way. Is the outdoor industry really trying to get hunters out there, or are they trying to get hunters to spend money? Like, which one is it?
Right. Well, you don't know. You don't know. That's the thing. You just, I mean, some of them are showing you a product because they believe in it. Some are showing you a product because they're going to profit from it. So that's the.
What's the one thing that stands out about that specifically? The one thing that sticks out that makes you just second guess, like, well, what the fuck, you know?
Well, if they're if they're trying to show too much of one thing, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I've killed deer in green jeans and in green jackets. You know what I mean? I never used to wear camouflage. I used to wear the Timberland boots. You know, it's all about the wind, making sure the wind's right. But some of the products work that they have, and some of the products don't work. And some things are gimmicks and some things aren't. You just got to know which ones are what. And the only way to know is really to buy it. I bought so much stuff you wouldn't believe it to test it all.
I believe it, man.
And some things work and some things don't. You know what I mean? Like, let's take, if you want to take something into consideration, maybe ozonics, the ozone stuff, does it work? Let me tell you what it does. It saves a lot of those lives because they still win you. Deer win you with that ozonic stuff and everything. But what happens is they get a little screwy and they don't blow. You don't have ozonics or something to that effect when you're in the tree. The does blow at you and the hunt's done. So what you got to do is if they start blowing at you, I usually just kill the fucking things. I kill them good. Kill the does that are blowing. Fucking kill them. Get rid of them. Get them out of there. Now they already know you're in the fucking tree. You know what I mean? They know you're in the tree. So you're screwed. So you got to kill them. So what happens is the ozonics, the deer definitely win you. And what happens is they walk by you and they pick up the scent of that ozonics and all they do is go a little bit faster on their route to wherever they're going. And when they do that, they don't blow. That's what I've noticed. Like, that the ozonics thing really isn't a gimmick. It is if you think that you're just going to go in the tree and shoot a big buck because you've got ozonics. If, you have to do you still got to shower. You still got to make sure the wind's right. Because a lot of times if you're hunting on food or if you've got a lot of deer around you, you ever notice when you got deer around you and they're eating in front of you, and what happens is the big doe that comes in there, the big bitch, she comes in there and kicks the babies and whatever out of the way, or the does that aren't hers. And what do? They run right around your friggin' tree, and they get right in the wind because they're trying to circle to go back. So what happens is that ozonics prevents that from happening. And a lot of times I've had the does do that, or the small bucks even when they kick them out of there. I mean, I've seen big does kick smaller bucks, 1.5 years, 2.5-year-old bucks. I mean, I've seen them beat on them, and beat on them good. And they chase them out of it. And what happens is, you always got to give up something with the wind. There's always one direction you got to give up, but it's usually the direction behind you. So they come right around you, and they get in that ozonics or whatever the tool you're using for the ozone, and boom, they're gone. But they don't blow. And that's big. The deer blowing is a big thing, That'll hold up a giant buck in the back that's waiting to come in. That'll hold them up till dark. Believe me, I've seen it many a time,
That's solid advice,
so
man.
Listen, I'm telling you, I've done it. Listen, I've used that ozonics. When that ozonics first came out, it was about a 20-pound box you had to hang above your head. The thing was heavy as a bastard.
Yeah, no shit. I carried it in for you.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, Jimmy I used to make him carry it in when we went to Kansas. So we used to use that ozonics, and that's how I noticed all that stuff that went on with the deer. They're going to smell you. You're not going to get away from their nose. They're going to smell something. Without the ozonics, the does, the babies, or whatever, something's blowing, and I got to kill it. If it's blowing at me, it's got to die. And I don't want to kill it. You know how many times I held my bow in my hand and prayed to God and begging the deer, please don't blow, don't do it, don't blow. And the bitch blows, the bitch dies. That's what happens.
Hey, Billy, who you got next to you right now that's been chiming in from time to time?
This is my boy Jimmy Giles. He's a guide. He's a whitetail guide at John Hankey's place when I first started there. I mean, he dragged many a deer for me, and we went hunting on many hunts together, and we had a lot of fun. And he's a good guy. He knows whitetails a little bit, but his passion is the waterfowl. He comes to Rhode Island in January. He comes with me, and he goes waterfowl hunting.
Nice.
And that's his thing. But Jimmy kills them. Jimmy kills some big bucks, But again, he's got a guy who's got the resources. This man who's a great guy, he owns half the place in Kansas where I hunt. So those guys have unlimited access to unlimited ground, and they find the bucks, they get on them, and they kill them.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what they do.
So, Billy, why don't you let Jimmy Giles start the round of positivity, and we'll go around the room. We'll go Jimmy, and then we'll go around the room, and you end us with round of positivity. So, Jimmy, what do you got? What do you got, Jimmy? Round of positivity, man.
Round of positivity.
This ought to be good. Go ahead.
Oh, man. You just got to be positive. You got to think positive. You got to be positive to have a positive outcome.
Amen. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple.
That's it. Sure.
Hell yeah. Good one. Trev, what do you got? Round of positivity.
Round of positivity is, by the time that this episode ends up airing, we're going to be 3 days from opening season, maybe even 2 days from opening season.
For state land.
Here in Connecticut. And, it's been a fulfilled episode of positivity. Our boy Billy is nothing but positive about going, and I'm very excited for him to go to this championship and meet a whole new group of people and making our circle even bigger. I know I go back on this constantly, but it's 2019 is here, season 2 for us. We're about to be in the 100th episode, and I can't be any more positive than that.
Hell yeah. Good one. What I bring round of positivity to the table is Billy Sylvia, the Slayer, East Coast Slayer.
You want to know what positivity is? Let me tell you what positivity is.
Tell us.
Positivity is giving back.
Yes.
When you have experience of hunting, you give back to a child or you give back to someone who's less fortunate, who doesn't have that experience. That's positive. You come out of it with a different feeling.
Amen. So on that note, stay stepping
and stay slaying.
Try to let a few doors walk, but if that freezer runs low, I gotta stock it. These scrub bucks got no mask, darn sure no drop times, but this chili has deer burger in it tonight.
Where did this podcast go? Straight to hell. Yeah, speaking of hell, check out East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
We keep it real on East Coast.
First of all, I'm addicted to the show.
I like that. That's cool. Okay.
Full hunt, you live it, you breathe it.
It's a whole different world.
Just East Coast has a little bit more of an edge and a grind.
It's a fantastic thing.
You guys are fucking awesome.
Well, number one is you guys like beer. I want to feel like I'm hanging with the boys.
You're the guys who showed up.
But I actually saw Jesus.
The point where it is now where it's insane.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I just want to get the realest people possible in the industry. And if you're not pissing people off, you're not doing it right.
Nothing forced, all fucking natural.